People listen, but they do not hear. They do not comprehend, or rather, they do not do their due diligence. But perhaps that is due diligence, is not listening. It leads you on a process of discovery. But to discover about Aumbonda, to discover about myself, and Aumbonda is not representative of me, this ego. It is a concept, and it's outlined in the description for the channel, the Angels of Light. I work with camouflage spirit, morphing cultural context, embracing racial and ethnic diversity, which enables the light to transcend differences in the solely human matrix, empower all people with the divine matrix. Now, that was a little bit about my spiritual ego, but about Aumbonda, call it a concept, call it a religion, call it a path. I call it the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram, and define it as Aumbonda is a new revelation inspired within my God particle referring to Atman, that eternal observant essence within myself, within yourself, within everybody. Todos los gentes del mundo. Everyone has this God particle. And Aum is representative of the Hindu aspect, Vedic aspect, I should change that to Vedic, aspect of my inspired awareness based upon Isha Kriya Yoga and Vedic mantras by Satguru. Bond of Aumbonda is the bond of all humanity and creation throughout the divine omniverse, and as in Amen, that seals the divine word with light affirmations. So that is a description of Aumbonda, and not affiliated with any cause or Illuminati, occult organization. It's live, raw, and real. What you see is what you get. What you have been seeing for the past 4 years now, since I started making videos and posting them on the YouTubes, and I did it on BitChute for a while as well. But this is a path of discovery, a path of sharing. It is a path of authenticity. And I give you the Aumbondan Seal of Authenticity, which can be understood as both a spiritual insignia and a practical standard within this concept that I am trying to share with people. The bond of all creation. Everything is alive. Everything is imbued with awareness. Everything. How else could it be? All is consciousness. All is spiritual congruence. And ultimately, there's only fear and love. You can be fearful of symbols, and typically fear is based upon ignorance. Darkness is ignorance. The light is knowledge. Learn all that you can. I'll tell you what I am not. I am not a counterfeit. I am not parasitic. Nor am I demiurgic in origin. And therefore, this path, Aumbonda, which is the sound of creation and the bond of all creation, is not demiurgic in origin. This path of Aumbonda reflects spirit over distortion. I try to present an outward sign, outward words of inner truth, of convictions. I try to convey that my consciousness, my awareness, my ego is not manipulated by shadow, but rather is unveiled essence of the God force, a frequency signature of resonance that vibrates with the harmonic field of authenticity, making imposture energetically uncomfortable or unsustainable, making deception, living within deceit, which is with this energy, with the rising vibrations, frequencies of this planet, all that is false, all that is not of the light is being revealed. Discernment, your spiritual filter, not your ego filter where your ego is deciding what, oh, that's not good. No, your spiritual filter. Falsehood cannot pass through it without collapsing. I want to remind you, the viewer, the initiate. I want to remind the community that we are working in alignment with the infinite source rather than the demiurgic louche harvesting systems of the Illuminati, the parasitic negative aliens who have severed their source, severed their connection with source. It's not just these, when I say aliens, I'm talking about the higher dimensional entities, but they have their minions here on this planet. This organization is not part of that. We are connected to source. When I had my Kundalini activation, it burned all falsehood, all distortion out from me. It healed me from a very destructive and dangerous lifestyle that I had been living for 6 years. Overnight, this power came through me and cleansed me. Now, I'm giving it to you live, raw, and real, okay? This is not AI generated. I don't hide behind any fancy little, I approach this platform like as if I were on a stage and having to speak to fellow humans. Not, this medium is just a medium of dissemination. The teachings, the texts, the doctrines, the scriptures, the transmissions are marked with the seal of Aumbonda. Spirit sovereignty, liberation from false hierarchies, and remembrance of your eternal origin, your God source. So, but your seal of authenticity is not granted. It is recognized. I can all day long not expect you to grant me a seal of authenticity. You can only recognize it or resonate with it because authenticity is the natural state of spirit when freed from mimicry, inversion, and illusion. I offer you my own eternal nature. Trust me, if I were trying to make videos before my cleansing, before my connection to source, it would be on mundane, profane topics. I'd probably be talking about guns or, some other nonsense, political nonsense. No, I've tried to stay on the path of spirit and connection to source. Stamped the power of the God force upon all works, words, and deeds that flow from the eternal flame rather than the counterfeit fire of the demiurge. And so it is. Namaste, namaskaram. Hit the subscribe button and leave this video a thumbs up.